Hi there, welcome. If you're new to my channel, then welcome here. And if this isn't your first time and you've been here before, then welcome back. This is day one of the 5-day vocal control challenge. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you will know that you will have 2 weeks to watch this. So we're starting on Monday, the 21st of April. So this will be available only for 2 weeks on YouTube, after which you'll be able to find it in the Singing Genius Club. I'll be talking about the Singing Genius Club a little bit later. But first of all, vocal control. Now, I have lots of people asking me about how they can control their voice and how they can sing more freely. So I'm going to cover a couple of things. First of all, what is vocal control? Vocal control is a combination of breath control, the ability to pitch properly, so you want to be able to sing on tune and sing the right notes every single time, the ability to add effects like rasp, vibrato, screaming, and be able to control the volume. So this is all about you knowing exactly what's going to come out of your mouth before you make the sound. That all comes under vocal control, and that can take some time. It all starts with breath control and relaxation. We must be relaxed. Now, sometimes it's difficult to be relaxed if you're singing in front of someone new for the first time, if you're singing in front of a crowd and you're not really used to it, singing to an audience, if you're in the studio for the first time, and generally if you're just not used to singing. I've been singing since 1999. I sing very comfortably in pretty much any situation. I do, of course, get nervous, but because I've been singing for such a long time and also because I've been teaching for such a long time, I have different ways of making myself more relaxed. So we're going to start with an exercise which helps not only your vocal control, but also where the placement is. Vocal control also covers the placement of your voice, and the placement is where the sound is made, where your voice resonates, and that just means where it's made. So it could be made around here, it could be made in your throat, which is what we don't want. Up the front of your throat, that is, we don't want that. It could be made in your pharynx, which is towards the back. That's more for like head voice, soft singing. It could be that the sound is made here. It could be that it's made more around here or in your chest, but you will play around with sounds. I don't expect anyone to get everything in day one. That's not possible. You can't learn everything on the first day, and you also can't learn everything in a short amount of time. You must give yourself some time. So each day I'm going to be giving you vocal exercise and introducing techniques that become progressively more challenging. And what that's going to do is going to set you up with the right foundations so that you can have good, strong vocal control. So the first exercise is going to help with the breath control and the placement and the ability to hold a straight note without wobbling too much. Before we do that, what I recommend is that you find the right song and you use the same song to practice to throughout the challenge. That's going to help you to create muscle memory, and it's also going to help you to track your progress. If you're using different songs all the time, you can't track your progress. It's difficult for you to create muscle memory, and it's just generally difficult for you to progress. So let's start with exercise 1. We're going to start on zzz, and we're just going to hold a single note. We're going to start here. This should be fine for everyone. It shouldn't be too low for anyone. It might be a little high for some people to start with if you have a particularly low voice. If that's the case, just bring it down the octave. So we're going to sound. Don't worry about singing. Don't worry about making it sound pretty or nice. We're just going to make a funny sound. Zzz, and we're going to hold it. It's actually here. Zzz, and we're going to hold it for 4 beats. So here's the tempo. 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's it. I didn't conduct that very well. Doesn't matter. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, and zzz, zzz, zzz. going. Keep going. Try not to get louder. If it's too high, then stop. Don't drop the octave and sing lower. Just stop and wait. And back down. I did jump one then, doesn't matter. Keep going. If it feels too low, then go into your fry. And that will help you to extend your range lower. Now, if you're already thinking this is far too easy for me, I'm way past this, remember that this challenge is for all levels. So regardless of where you're starting, even if you think this is too easy for you, it's always good to go back and recap and just to check in that you are doing things the way that your voice is made, the natural way that your voice is supposed to work, and you're not trying to force it to do anything that it's not supposed to do and then possibly cause some damage. The next exercise is going to further help you to create that more control and to feel where the sound is made. And we're going to use the sound If you have a blocked nose right now, use the sound for naughty, but try to use the sound M for mother, and you're going to feel the vibration, and you really want to feel the vibration, and that's what's going to help you to get the control. Once you lose that vibration and that tingly feeling at the front of your mouth, it's much easier to lose the control. So we're going to still sound on singles, because singles is the best way of creating control right at the beginning and actually any time during your vocal training. So let's start here. And again, 1, 2, 3, and. Let it squeak. Now, if your voice feels and sound weaker, if there was a change in gear, it might have felt like, that's absolutely fine. All that means is that your voice was changing from the chest register to the head register. And it means that your vocal cords started doing something different. And until you understand and learn how to navigate that change, where your voice changes from chest to head, it will flip and it will sound different. So don't worry about that. Don't try to force your voice and strain and do something like... That's not going to help you at all. Relax your throat, let some air come out of your nose as you're making the sound, and let the soft sound be soft. And if it sounds weak and feels weak, just let it feel weak and sound weak. That's the only way to build strength. It's not to force it, it's to let it happen by itself. It's just like when we're down the gym. Hopefully, you wouldn't go down the gym and try to lift the biggest weight there and then, and just hope that something happens and that you make it work. You're going to start where you are. You're going to start with something that's a bit easier, a little bit challenging, but it's not too much for you to cause damage to your muscles. And it's the same with your vocal cords. If it needs to be soft, let it be soft. So let's now come down the scale. And and you may have heard, I had a little bit of a wobble there myself. Nobody's perfect. We do make mistakes. We do have a little bit of wobble every now and then. I'm not going to go away and go and put, put pitch corrector over this, because that's going to give you false expectations. It's not going to be perfect all the time. I probably didn't warm up enough. I'm talking in between. And I lost the pitch, and so I just had to find the pitch. If that's the same for you, that's absolutely fine. Okay, let's go from here. And give it the same concentration. Concentrate just as much on the way down as you did on the way up. Give it some life. Keep going. Let these sounds come through your nose. It will be easier to reach the low notes and go into getting low. last one. The next exercise, we're going to open up to oo, and it's the same thing. So we're going to start here. Now, if you're finding this boring, tedious, it could be that maybe singing isn't for you. If you enjoy the exercise, I mean, there are some people who don't enjoy exercises, but if you focus on the fact that it's actually going to help you to improve your singing quite quickly if you do it properly, then you should find it a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable to use these exercises. And you're going to notice some progression from z to we open up to oo. It's a little bit more difficult to control the oo, and that's why we do it in this order. So here we go, same thing, 5, 6, 7, and keep going. Back down. Last one. Now, the song that you choose to help you with this challenge, so that you can check your progress and so that you have something to practice with, it should focus on the area that you feel you have the least control over. So if you're really strong in your low notes or your high notes, then choose a song that focuses more on the opposite end. So if you're good at your high notes and you need to practice your low notes, choose a song that focuses more on the long, lower notes. And that's going to help you to progress during this challenge. Now, if you have any questions, if you're finding something a little bit difficult and you need some help, then you can join me on the live Q&A. That's at 7 o'clock this evening inside the Singing Genius Club. All you need to do is go to the pinned comment or the description, join the Singing Genius Club. I will be sending out the link to the Zoom meeting inside the Singing Genius Club, and I will be sending emails to every single member so that you can come and join me on Zoom and ask your questions live. If you can't make that, don't worry, you can still access the Q&A session, the recording of it, inside the Singing Genius Club afterwards. So we will be live at 7 p.m. tonight. Times will change during the week. I had hoped that I would be able to do the same time every week, every day, to make it easier for everybody. But what with life, music, my band, and all kinds of things, my clients having and my schedule having different outcomes, that's not going to be possible. But 7 p.m. UK time, that's on Monday. If you're watching this on Monday, the 21st of April, you will be able to join the live Q&A session inside Singing Genius Club. If you're watching this after that, you can still find the recordings of the live Q&A sessions inside the Singing Genius Club. Okay, so we're now coming to the last exercise for today. We're opening up to R. You may find it a little bit more challenging. This is the point, as I said earlier on, the point of this challenge is to give you exercises that come progressively more difficult, and that is going to help your progress. So we open up to R. Now, when we get higher in pitch, be careful not to get louder. You don't want to be pushing any sounds like this. Ah! If you need to change to a softer voice, please, 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 please do. Do not strain your voice like this. Ah! Don't do that. You don't need to do that. It's not going to help your voice. It's not going to give you any control. It's actually going to make your voice worse and more difficult to control. When you need to change to that soft voice, just change to a soft voice. It doesn't matter if it sounds weak or if it feels weak, because as you learn the correct techniques, you're going to gain strength. So when it gets higher in pitch and you feel like you need to get softer, just sing it softly like this. If it's even softer than that, that's fine. The point is, don't push or force your voice ever, 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 ever. Okay, let's start down here. R. 1, 2, 3, and ah, 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 ah. Nice and gently. We don't need to get louder. No need to panic. Back down. Last one. So now you should feel nicely warmed up and ready to go and practice your song. Remember, stick to one song throughout the challenge. That way you can track your progress and it's much easier for you to transfer what you're learning in the challenge to one song rather than trying to add it to 2, 3, or even 4 different songs. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Stay hydrated. Ciao!